So, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Count Beauty. When I saw you there, I knew, oh my gosh, I'm late. So it's 1 minute to, I'm not late. I think you're probably as obsessed about time as I am. So, good evening, Baptista. Nice to see you. So, I hope you're all well. I hope you've all had a really good Valentine's Day and have enjoyed yourselves. Yes, Indian guy. That's since. You can't say, I am doing this since. You have to use a present perfect. It's time from the past up to now. What's up, Vitaly? Great to see you, my friend. Good evening, Arif. Good evening, Raccoon. That's great. So, where was I? Yeah, I hope you're all fine. It's been a lovely day here. It's been winter sunshine, which is something I enjoy. And we're starting to get some answers already. So, how many words and idioms do you know for money? So, Victor Gabriel started. Buck. Cash. Yeah. To be in the red. I need some capitals. Yeah, I like Vitalier's dough. Hi there, Cheyenne. To have money. Yeah. Good evening, Sean from Singapore. Hi there, Manjira. So we're looking for words that... what have I done here? Cut. Sorry. So, just a little mistake here. So we're looking for words for money. Yeah, to be in the black. To be in the red, to be in the black. And let's see. Put your money where your mouth is. I like that. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't just say this is a good idea, but actually do something about it. To make a killing, that's a good one. Time is money. Make a killing. And time is money. Money is the root of all evil. So, quid, that's good. Money talks, funds. How about, let's try some unusual ones. DOSH. This is a very, very common slang word in the UK. Have you got any DOSH? Yeah, to have deep pockets. Greenbacks by Mohammed. That's quite good. So, yeah. SPONDOOLICKS. I think it's a double O. SPONDOOLICKS. LICKS. SPONDOOLICKS. Another one from the UK. Good evening, Mike. Good evening, Prosh. Money makes the world go round, Count Beauty. Currency, cash, a stack. So, a wad. A wad is papers put together. So you've got a wad of money. Yeah, money doesn't grow on trees. The wherewithal. I like that one, Vitaly. Withal. I haven't got the wherewithal to make this investment. That's a good one, Habi. Loot. Loot and bread by Vitaly. Loot by Habi, bread by Vitaly. These are good. Loot. Bread. Spare a quarter? Absolutely. Spare change. Money can't buy me love. Shalom, Renyard. Nice to see you. Okay, so there are lots of them. Moolah. That's a good one, Harry. Moolah. Yeah, if you've got any moolah... Yeah, no, I haven't got any moolah. The rat race. The rat race is what we live in. Money really finances the rat race, I guess. Okay, let's leave this. Paper chase. Not the brightest penny in the box. So now let's change this, and we're going to try Chump change. I quite like chump change. Manjira, the phrase is to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Yeah, it's definitely an idiom to do with money. Esam from Sudan, great. I'm going to call you Esam from now on. Now I know your name, that's great. Money doesn't grow on trees. And a penny saved is a penny earned. And that's Vivek. And Alexei says a quid. So, idiom, to do things in the wrong order. Reverse the accepted or logical order of things. To put the before the Vitalie, Antonio. That's very good. So, we're having connection waves. Yes, and Habi. Is the other way round, Count Beauty, because the horse goes before the cart. That's the right way round. So to put the cart before the horse. Yeah, to get things in the wrong order. Yeah, to do things in an illogical way, the wrong way round. Let's see, if you're planning a project, you need to think about it. And make sure you don't get the cart before the horse. Yeah, it's a bit like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Well done, Tomek. The oxen before the wagon. I like the idea. It's a long time since we've used oxen in Europe. But horses much more recently. Oh, but goal, that's a good one, Ermine, as well. So, trying to learn complex English grammar when you're starting English is putting the cart before the horse. Yeah. Okay, so don't put the cart before the horse. Yeah, your cart's not going to work. So we're going to have another one in a second. Yeah, here we go. So a difficult situation or argument cannot be the fault of one person alone. It takes two. So when two people are arguing, then they are both arguing. Absolutely. So Vitalie, Indian guy, Javi, and Ben, Tomek, and Manjira, yes. So it takes two to tango. Whoops. Okay, the tango is a dance. The tango is a dance, and you need to have two people. If you're having an argument with someone, both of you have got to want to argue. Well done, Tanetra. Because if you don't, then you're not there isn't an argument. Yeah. So it takes two to tango. It's not just the fault of one person alone. So good evening, Danny. And let's try another one. Okay, thank you, Danny. As the actress said to the bishop, yeah, this is when you say something slightly risque. That's great. So it takes two to tango. If I'm going to give a class, I need at least one student. It takes two to tango. But this is normally saying if there's an argument, then both people are arguing, because if one of them doesn't want to argue, then there's no argument. So this next one I like. Do not give up too soon. Things may improve. It's not over till and Ben and Antonio and Vitalie. That's very good. So this is to do with opera. This is to do with opera. This is the fat lady is the soprano. The lady, the fat lady singing in a loud voice. That's it, Tomek. So it's not over till the fat lady sings. That's it, Manjira, and Javi as well. Okay, it's not over till the fat lady sings. Don't give up too soon. Yeah, things might change. Tango a guerrilla fighter in military English? It's possible, but I think they're using tango in that context, Renyard, as the letter T for tango. And head through this, that's it. It's not over till the fat lady sings. So if you have an opera, at the end of the opera, the fat lady sings. And the soprano is normally a big fat lady. Yeah? And it's and it's over when Elvis has left the building. That's very good, Javi. I like that. It's not over till the fat lady sings, but it is over when Elvis has left the building. They use this phrase, Elvis has left the building, to mean something is finished. So to stop the fans asking for more. Good evening, yeah. Let's see. This one's easy. Exactly the thing that is or was needed to help improve something or make one feel better. It's just this is exactly what I needed. It's just the right thing. And Vitalia and Cheyenne and Ben and good evening vibes. Okay, so Dr. Yes Beauty, but what he ordered, Tanetra, that's it, very good. Good evening, Danielle Guevara, and Manjira, that's great, and English vibes, yeah, and Sean, yes, and head through this, Alexei, great, Vero, good to see you. Okay, not said, Indian guy, same problem as, it's just the ticket, I like that phrase. This is another phrase that works very well, I'm going to write that here. So it is just the ticket. But so what? Yes, exactly. I mean, it's just what the doctor ordered. So, for example, a vaccine that works against COVID is just what the doctor ordered. It's just what we all need. Maybe some sunny days are going to be just what the doctor ordered. They're exactly what we need. Yeah? And those who have money to burn should chip in a chunk of change to those who are as poor as church mice. Yeah, that's just what the doctor ordered. A fairer society. I quite agree with you. Okay, so yeah, it's just the ticket. It's just what the doctor ordered. It's exactly what we needed. Okay, a predatory lender, one who makes high interest loans to desperate people, is known as a Yeah, this is normally some sort of gangster who he'll break your legs if you don't pay him back. Finally, Vitalia, you've got one wrong. The shark bit is right, but as Sean says here, and Javi says, yeah, and Danielle and Ben and Amimul. Okay, so shark. But in English we say well done Vera, well done Manjira as well, and Alexei and Gedrudis. A loan shark. A loan shark is somebody who lends money to people that that the banks won't lend money to. Normally they're desperate and they charge massive interest rates. So a scammer, I'm not sure this is a scam, because if a scam is a way to trick you out of your money, that's the con artist. The loan shark is quite clear. I'll lend you £1,000, but you've got to pay me £100 a week interest, and if you don't pay me, I'll break your legs or burn your home. And that's a loan shark. He's usurer. That's a very good word, Shan. It's pretty formal. Yeah, a usurer. Yeah, he's a loan shark. He's somebody who is taking advantage of people in difficult situations. Probably end up borrowing of one loan shark to pay back another. You see the loan shark in these gangster films sometimes as well. Yeah. And he's always got two really big men with him who are enforcing. Loan Loan shark is taboo in my country. Wow. Okay, yeah, but I know in Muslim nations you're not supposed to charge interest. And Cheyenne has already given the answer to us. This one's easy though. To have an inferiority complex, to have a on one's, and that's it, Vitalia. Shylock is a loan shark, absolutely. Shylock's a pretty nasty piece of work though. Yeah, so Cheyenne, Antonio, Vitalia, Count Beauty, David Guevara, the Indian guy. Yes, this is definitely. And Vero, Tanetra, Hair. Yes, exactly. But I don't think you've got a chip on your shoulder. I think you're a great guy, Harvey. So no question mark. Absolutely head through this. And Tomek and Vibes as well. Yeah, you've all got good. You've all got this one. I thought this one would be quite easy, and you'd all actually know it. So to have a chip on one's shoulder. Yeah, so if you've got a chip on your shoulder, you just feel you're not good enough. You're always going to be inferior. I think maybe the British have got a chip on their shoulder about the food that they produce. In the past, the food was really bad, but nowadays it's getting better. So I hope you enjoyed the video, VG. Yeah, so yeah, an inferiority complex, to have a chip on one's shoulder. He's always trying to compensate and do better than everyone else because he's got a chip on his shoulder, so he has to do better than everyone else to prove he's the same as them. Yeah, it's like you've got a piece missing, a chip, a piece that's come out of your shoulder. Okay, I like this one as well. My brother finds this girl extremely attractive and he really wants to go out with her. He has got the for her. To have the for somebody. Well done, Ben. So notice Tanetra, to have a crush on someone. Have a crush on somebody. He's got a crush for, he's got a crush on. So Vitalia's got the right answer, and Ben and Danielle. Good evening, Hussein. He really wants for her. Well, no. So the hots is the phrase. He's got a crush on her. He has the hots for her. He has the hots for her. This is a really good phrase. He has the knack for her. No, a knack is a special way of doing something. So Vitalia has a knack of always coming in first with the right answer. He has a fascination for her. That would work. Tomek, I like this answer. To have the hots for her. To have the hots for somebody. Yeah? So it's really clear he's got the hots for her. And let's try another one. Okay, so who have you got the hots for? No, don't answer that. Could cause all sorts of problems. Yeah, fascination works, Tanetra, but we need to have the hots for somebody. Yeah, to have a crush on someone, to have a fascination for someone. Yeah, I've got the hots for some people. I bet you have, Victor Gabriel. Have a fond for her. I think you could probably use this in American, although I'd say he's fond of her. But fond of, you're fond of your mother, you're fond of your little sister, you're fond of chocolate. It doesn't really say he's got the hots for her. Okay, and let's see. To begin a job or a project with no learning on the training period needed. So this is quite interesting. Let's see, we've already got lots of answers. I like Vitalia and Ben's answer. To hit so that's the question. Is it to hit the ground rolling or to hit the ground running? So I personally would say to hit the ground running. But I think you could probably also say rolling as well. Wow, there are lots of answers. So Mohammed, he's head over heels in love with her. You need to say head over heels in love with her. Good, Habi, to hit to hit the ground running. No, these idioms these are all by common people. These are not made by luminaries at all. All of these are phrases used by people invent. Yeah, to hit the ground running. He fancies her. Yeah, he fancies her, but he's got a fancy for her. So to fancy, to want, to desire. Do you fancy a drink? Do you fancy going to the cinema this evening? Notice, do you fancy? It's like an invitation. I fancy a long cold drink at the moment. I want. But notice, he fancies that girl. This also works. She fancies him. She likes him. She's got the hots for him. She fancies him. The meaning is the same. Okay, so I think we probably ought to move on to the story now. Let me just run through these, and here we go. Story's reasonably easy today. It's called The Olive Tree and the Fig Tree. Yeah. Would you fancy another sandwich? Yeah. But do you fancy her? Fancy dress. Fancy also means decorative, elaborate, with lots of different special details. Yeah, I went to a fancy wedding. Yeah, where they spent lots and lots of money. Have you ever been to a fancy restaurant where the waiters all call you sir? Huh. Yes, gourmet, or so expensive. So, the olive tree and the fig tree. Why did the olive laugh at the fig tree? I'm going to add the word tree here. Why did the olive tree laugh at the fig tree? What happened to the trees? And what moral would you give the story? Yeah, the wheels fell off when I started to spend money like water. Exactly. So, the olive tree and the fig tree. Here we go. I'm going to read. I need to get the right window. So, here we go. When a fig tree lost all her leaves during the winter, a nearby olive tree made fun of her nakedness. The olive tree said, "In both winter and summer I always look beautiful with permanently green leaves, whereas your beauty only lasts the summer." Then a heavy snowstorm began, and snow fell upon them. As the olive was full of foliage, the snow settled on the branches and broke them with its weight. But the fig tree had no leaves, and the snow fell directly to the ground and did not injure it at all. So, maybe the olive is much more useful. I think they're both useful. You can eat figs, you can eat olives, you can get oil from the olives as well, which probably makes it a better, more useful. So, I'm not ignoring your answers, Indian guy, at all. And, let's see, let me read it again. When a fig tree lost all her leaves during the winter, a nearby olive tree made fun of her nakedness. In both winter and summer, the olive tree said, "I always look beautiful with permanently green leaves, whereas your beauty only lasts the summer." Then a heavy snowstorm began, and snow fell upon them. As the olive tree was full of foliage, the snow settled upon the branches and broke them with its weight. But the fig tree had no leaves, and the snow fell directly to the ground and did not injure it at all. Good. I'll leave no stone unturned. So, let's see. Daniel Guevara. The fig tree had lost all of its foliage. Foliage is a word for leaves. Good word, Daniel. When the olive tree noticed it mocked the fig tree for being naked. That's really good English. I have no complaints about that at all, Daniel. You understood it and written it. Okay, yeah, it's a good thing to work hard to learn English. So, Indian guy, let's have the answer to some of these questions. Foliage means leaves. The foliage of a plant, the leaves of a plant, the foliage of a tree. Yeah, foliage is a word for leaves. Yeah. So, yeah. In autumn, the foliage turns yellow and falls from the trees. Manjira. The olive tree laughed at the fig tree on its barrenness during winter. I like that word, barrenness, Manjira. And Hayretin, no leaves, it was naked. Good answer. Count Beauty. The olive tree laughed at the fig tree because it was stark naked. Good word, stark naked, without leaves in winter. A storm occurred and injured that tree, which was with leaves. The tree with foliage, with leaves. The snow was too heavy for its branches. That's great. Thank you, my cuisine. And vibes. The olive tree took the mickey out of the fig tree for its barrenness. Good sentence. She kept boasting that her beauty was everlasting compared to the fig tree, whose leaves had blown off throughout the seasons. Great work, English vibes. Tomek. The olive tree laughed at the fig tree because of its appearance. The olive tree got damaged by the harsh winter, or a harsh winter. The moral is the blessing in disguise. Okay, Manu. The olive trees laughed at the fig tree because it had lost all of its leaves. Hayretin. So a storm caused them to lose their leaves. Ben. The olive tree was showing off as it thought it was the better tree, as the fig tree was bare of leaves and fruit as the weather was cold. Don't go showing off your ego, as you can have your ego tested also. Good English, Ben. Emin. In our culture there's a story about a schoolboy who fell off because of icy road, and the boy told the ice that you won't live longer. When spring comes, you will become water. Okay, that's an interesting one. Indian guy. No, you've taken it out. So, Mickey. The olive tree made fun of the nakedness of the fig tree. The snowstorm broke the branches of the fig tree since it had leafage. No, foliage, Mickey. Foliage, foliage. Foliage talks about leaves. Yeah? It had luxuriant foliage. Okay, so, and Renyard. Beauty is not only impractical but also very dangerous. One day it can play mere hell with those who enjoy it. Good English, Renyard. Tanetra. The fig tree survived the heavy snowstorm, for it had no leaves left on its branches, whereas the olive tree got injured completely. So, completely injured. Completely is an extreme adverb. Yeah, and injured is a gradable one. It got extremely injured. But completely means totally, and an injury can't be 10 out of 10. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas completely only means 10. You can't use extreme adverbs with gradable adjectives. Animal, moral. Being proactive is better than being reactive. That's a good moral. Victor Gabriel. First, because it lost its leaves. Second, a heavy storm took place and destroyed the olive tree. Third, don't do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you. Great English VG. Hey, routine. Moral, we cannot know what the future will bring us, so don't make conclusions according to today's results. Just a thee, hey routine. And Count Beauty. Oh, I seem to have jumped some here. Oh no, yeah, Count Beauty. The moral is stick to the weather, not fashion. That's good. Indian guy. The olive tree laughed because the fig tree was in its birthday suit. Notice you've written suite, S-U-I-T, suit, Indian guy. So the olive tree, the fig tree, in its birthday suit. And Tanetra, one who laughs last laughs longest. It's a great moral. Maria Lafard, the olive tree laughed at the fig tree because it didn't have any leaves during winter. Good. Alexei, olive tree, the olive tree made fun of her nakedness, although it hadn't lost its leaves, it would have been injured. So Hussein, the olive tree laughed at the fig tree because it was leafless. Good English. As the fig tree, the fig, Hussein, lost all its foliage, a storm went through the branches, whereas the fig tree was destroyed because of its leaves. Okay, that's good, Hussein. Maria Lafard, the moral would be that you should never laugh at someone else for their flaws because you might not realize that they might be useful. Exactly. Cheyenne, moral. A big head has a big ache. Occasionally, possessions and belongings can be the bane of your miseries. I love this, the bane of. The bane of is a permanent problem, something that always gives you problems. Manjira, beauty is only skin deep. I quite agree with that one, Manjira. And the olive tree gave the fig tree a supercilious smile for him being naked and ugly. Yeah. Indian guy, moral, karma is a bitch. Yeah, but karma's pretty true as well, I think, Indian guy. And Benjamin, those with a high amount of pride think they cannot have the same feeling of inadequacy as their victim. I quite like what you've put. So a high amount of pride are those who are very proud, yeah, or even just proud people. The proud, even, Ben. Emin, we have as well one song where a poet told a beautiful girl, don't be too narcissistic. Someday you'll get old and your beauty won't belong to you any longer. Manu, there was a snowstorm that injured the olive tree because it was full of leaves, foliage, while the fig tree was safe because of his nakedness. Good. And Alexei, normally we say don't jump the gun, not the guns, gun singular. Cheyenne, the shoe is on the other foot, that's good, or the boot is on the other foot. Hubby says, there's no point in comparing oneself to another. There's no point in comparing oneself to another. Better look at yourself and respect everyone about for how they are or for what they look like. Notice, hubby, how they are or for what they look like. English vibes, but in the end karma still came to pass, and a tremendous blizzard damaged the limbs and branches of the olive tree, who had come to conclusions to the conclusions that her charm would be eternal. Absolutely. Leaving her jaw dropped. So her jaw dropped as she realised that the tables had turned. And I mean, I remembered one tale when town rat meets village rat and they discuss who lives better. I prefer the village rat. During snowfall the olive had to endure so much pain as its branches broke off, whereas the fig tree remained safe. Good. My cuisine, metaphorically speaking. This is making love to the English language. Thank you. That's a really nice comment. Whatever goes around comes around. I love that phrase, That's a really good one. There are one or two informal videos about my life, Indian guy. Okay, to partake, to join others, to have some of, to partake in a meal, to partake in a conference, to be part of. Hey Routine, dear sir, thanks for the great lesson. That's easy. English vibes. Not to mention that you should never judge or presume anything about anyone for the reason that it is all about inner beauty. And also don't get haughty and self-absorbed, as you don't know what's down the road in store for you. Very good. That's good English advice. Manu, everyone is different and needs, everyone is singular, to be respected. Indian guy, don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, naked person couldn't be robbed by any thugs. Have a minimal necessity. Yes, I know you continued it because it wouldn't fit. Hussein, be adaptive, not fashionable. I quite agree with you, Hussein. Head through this. Every cloud has a silver lining. I guess for the fig tree, yes, because the other one, the other tree, the olive trees, is making fun of him. Everything will come home to roost. That's another way to talk about karma. Okay, so I need to read the story now. And let me put this here. And in a second, when I get the position right, I will read it. Okay, so it takes a second to come up onto the screen as well. And okay, I mean, when you live a simple life, you live longer. Muhammad, a garden is not made by sitting in the shade. And have I read the creations of Rudyard Kipling? Let's see, my mum was actually born in what is Baluchistan, so I know I've been read Rudyard Kipling ever since I was a little kid. So let me read. When a fig tree lost all her leaves during the winter, a near olive tree made fun of her. Na 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 na. Made fun of her nakedness. Na 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 na. You're naked. In both winter and summer, the olive tree said, I always look beautiful with permanently green leaves. Whereas, a contrast, your beauty only lasts the summer. Then a heavy snowstorm began, and snow fell on them. As the olive tree was full of foliage, full of leaves, the foliage is leaves, it settled, it landed upon the branches and broke them with its weight. But the fig tree had no leaves, and the snow fell directly to the ground and did not injure it at all. So, Maria Lazar. Okay, Maria... Yes, I used she when referring to the tree. Look, in this story, the trees can talk, so they are anthropomorphized. If you anthropomorphize a character, make it like a man or a human, then you can use gender when talking about objects and plants. But, for example, you see a bird fly by, that is it, yeah? You see a dog running towards you, that is it. But maybe you have a dog or a cat at home. That would be he or she, because you know which sex it is. But in these stories, the trees and the animals can talk. They're anthropomorphized, and therefore, if they can talk, you can give them gender. Okay, Emin. Never be evergreen like the olive, to be preferred by everyone. Be like the fig tree, to be loved by the chosen one. Absolutely. Hussein. To fall upon is to land on. To fall... Yeah, so to fall, something is falling, is the movement, but the on or upon is where it hits something, Hussein. Nothing is permanent. Okay. And 1 a.m. in India. Yeah. Of course, I really appreciate the fact that you're listening to me in the middle of the night. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a couple of easy questions and then it's time to finish. So, first question, what do you get if you mix black and white? What do you get if you mix black and white? Easy question. What do you get if you mix black and white? Yeah, what do you get if you mix black and white? You get... So Cheyenne, fig tree is deciduous and olive tree is perennial. Exactly. I'm glad you look forward to it, Aminul. So, answer the question for me, guys and girls. What do you get if you mix black and white? What do you get if you mix black and white? And Ben's the first, Manu's the second, Count Beauty's the third, and Khabi, grey, G-R-A-Y in the US or G-R-E-Y in the UK. No, you get grey, Aminul. And Mickey, grey, absolutely. Emin, good. Grey. Notice head through this, you don't need to say grey colour. Grey, by definition, is a colour. Okay, chocolate, Victor Gabriel. English vibes, grey. Daniel Guevara, grey. Absolutely. Tanetra, grey. The Indian guy, grey. Antonio Castillo, silver. I think I might accept that answer. Okay, so what do you get if you mix black and white? Well, the answer is G-R-A-Y or G-R-E-Y. They're both valid spellings. So that's correct, Mohammed. Well done. Yeah, you get grey. So let's try another question then. More difficult. What does an apiarist do? What does an apiarist do? Perennial means lives for many years, and here he's using it to mean it doesn't lose its leaves. Plants come in two types, flexibly. You can have annual ones that live a year, make their seed and die. Whereas a perennial makes its seed, and when winter comes it disappears, and then it grows again and it can live for many years. So what does an apiarist do? English vibes, that's very good. Yeah, okay. So what does an apiarist do? I think only English vibes knows this one. And my cuisine, grey. Renyard, grey. Yeah, it keeps bees. An apiarist keeps bees. Yeah, I am an apiarist, believe it or not. Everlasting or permanent. A beekeeper, absolutely, Ben. That's very good. Bees are a really interesting thing. Okay, let's try one more in a minute. And perennial, self-repeating. Perennial goes on and on and on. It doesn't disappear when it's finished. Okay, so what do you find inside a pen? What do you find inside a pen? Provide bees with hives for shelter, medications, and as needed, new queens. So, well done, Hussein. You actually know something about this. Yes, because the queen only lives for maybe 2, 3, could be 4 years, but they get tired. What's it like to be an apiarist? It's really, really interesting. It's a really, really difficult subject. So, what do you find inside a pen? Amimul says a refill. Hussein says ink. Tomek says ink. Tanetra's got it. Yes, one of my old live streams. Count Beauty says ink. Good. English Vibes, ink. Emin, ink. Ink. Manu, ink. And Victor Gabriel, ink in a small tube. That's true. Liquid, Antonio, but we call it we call it ink. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Count Beauty's answer. A prisoner, a pen. Yeah, a penitentiary. A pen, Count Beauty, is like a container or set of fences normally for an animal, but you can also use it as a for penitentiary as well. And Mickey finds ink inside a pen. Exactly. I'm fine, thanks, Hilda. Hey, you might find sheep, exactly, sheep or pigs in a pen. There's the guy Pigpen from Peanuts. Inside a pen I will find atoms, absolutely. Head through this ink. Flexibility, ink. Mohammed, an apiarist keeps bees. Honey is wonderful, but it can be dangerous too in case the bees attack. I get stung at least 3 times a week. Ink. So Hilda, you don't need to say paint, you just need to say ink. Okay. And Mohammed says ink as well. That's enough for today, my friends. You've been a wonderful group. So take care of yourselves. I will be back next week with another installment. Watch my videos. There are 2 new ones that came out just now. And keep studying English. Keep working hard. Take care. Bye bye.